Mr. Smith, thanks for coming in and visiting with me earlier, and appreciate you being here today. And of course, rural development is just vital in rural America in so many ways. So this is a really important position. One of the things that we're working on in North Dakota is what we call Crack the Code 2. So Crack the Code, or 2.0, Crack the Code 1.0 was where we worked on developing directional drilling and hydraulic fracturing to produce oil from shale. Traditionally, that wasn't economically viable, and back during the time I was governor, actually, we worked with a lot of innovative companies that came in and figured out how to do that. And now we're working on Crack the Code 2, which is actually trying to connect our coal-fired electric plants with the oil field, wherein we'll take the CO2 off the coal plants and then we'll put it downhole for enhanced oil recovery. And we think we can double the life of those coal plants at a time when we badly need electricity. And we can double the production out of the shale. And just in our state, that's over 5 billion barrels of oil that we've gotten so far. So it has huge implications for energy, not only for our state, but for the country. Because if we can do it successfully in North Dakota, they'll do it in the Permian Basin and in the shale play, in the Marcellus, in Ohio and Pennsylvania, and so on and so forth. The cooperatives are an important part of this effort, and rural development's an important part of this effort because of your credit programs. So talk to me about how your commitment to make sure that with companies like Minn Kota, which is a cooperative in Minnesota and North Dakota, their Project Tundra is heavily involved in this, and your credit programs play a big role, and I want to know if you support and how you'll support that effort.
Well, thank you, Senator, for that question. It would appear that the technology you're describing enhances more efficient oil production, cheaper oil that I think we all agree is good for the American consumer. And it benefits rural America, which is what we're all about at rural development. So I think anything that reduces the dependency on foreign oil, encourages domestic production, is something that we should look at strongly.
As you know, in rural America, cooperatives have been incredibly important, and your credit programs are incredibly important. Another area is hospitals. In the One Big Beautiful Bill, we included $50 billion to help our rural hospitals. One of the programs that we've used in North Dakota for our rural hospitals is the Rural Development Program for them to build new facilities, and combining that with the critical access reimbursement has enabled us to put first-class critical access hospitals out there in rural North Dakota, and they're doing well. They're serving their customers. Tell me they'd rather go to their hospital in their small community than go into the larger communities. It really works. So talk to me about the credit programs, and then also for our farmers, the credit programs are really important as well. One of the things we really got to do more on is helping with rural housing. It's a big need out there. Mm-hmm. So talk to me about the healthcare, the hospitals, some of the ventures for rural businesses, and then also for our farmers. Those programs. How are you going to use and expand? How about, and for our livestock guys, for example, for creating more opportunities with small processing and that kind of plants for options. Talk to me about what you can do there, because that's a powerful range of tools that you have for all those uses.
Let me take a breath here, Senator, and focus on which question I want to answer first.
Yeah, exactly. Joni has been bragging you up now, so we have to get...
Let me talk, first of all, on your comments on healthcare and the success you've had in North Dakota. That's great to hear that critical access hospitals are having a great deal of success and acceptance among their residents. And I would guess part of that is the personalized care. Yeah. They're not waiting in line for days or weeks or months. I know that we had a close relative that was having some health issues, heart issues, and she couldn't get an appointment to get in and see a doctor for evaluation for 2 months in the city, and yet she clearly had some issues. And at least at that critical care facility, you had somebody to look at her, number one, evaluate, and then, if need be, receive technical assistance from a larger facility, maybe a long ways away, but at least you're getting that patient's getting care right away. Doesn't have to be a huge facility. Doesn't have to be a $100 million facility to do that. So I think what you're landing on is maybe a model that maybe we could take to other areas of the country. I know I had a long conversation with Senator Marshall in Kansas that had much the same type of model. And that's something that I think rural development should be fluent in, be able to discuss, and be able to encourage to the different state directors.
That model works, and
Yes.
you can have a real impact out there.
Well, sharing best practices is something that we encouraged all the time on my position on the board with the Farm Credit Administration. That'd be exactly what we'd looking at. As far as businesses, any business that supports the rural economy, obviously we got to be involved in. I mentioned earlier livestock and how we've seen just a real explosion of branded farm or ranch to consumer products in the next 10 years. You can't turn on the television without seeing a nice model of cattle, maybe in North Dakota, and then a nice steak sitting there.
Probably in Arkansas. Don't you think? Probably in Arkansas.
I'm sure Chairman Bozeman would agree with that.
No, we have them in North Dakota too.
But part of that is you can't go to our huge packing plants and get the kind of service you need for that specialized consumer care. And that's where, and I think we've had a good success, maybe just a start, but a good success in rural development in supporting that livestock industry and those endeavors. And again, it's value added.
Right.
Because those producers, I'm hoping, and I think, get a good premium for their hard work, but it takes marketing and specialized plants to be able to turn out that product.
Mr. Chairman, I think I really appreciate the answers, and I think it's exciting opportunities that you can be part of out there. So, and I think you nailed it in how you talked about it.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you for the questions.